Hello, everybody. My name is Carrie Tinsley, and I am one of the advisors at UCA for biology and environmental science. Today, I want to go through really quickly the biology major check sheet so you kind of have a good idea of what you're doing and looking at before we have our first meeting for our first Zoom meeting for your advising appointment. So please make sure that you've watched this before we meet. Here, I'm going to share my screen and pull up this check sheet. And oops, it was at the bottom, so I'm going to start at the top. So you're going to have a sheet like this in your email, and what I would like for you to do is kind of familiarize yourself with some of the things that are on here. This is always something that you can refer back to as a biology major, because these are some important things that you'll want to keep in mind. Okay, so as a biology major, this sheet is set up with two columns on the left and the right. So this column over here on the left, this is your requirements column. And over on the right side is your electives column. So the plan is that you do your requirements before you do your electives. Now, some people finish physics a little later, but I'll talk about that in a second. But the idea is that you start with your requirements, which are here on the left, and then that's probably more like freshman, sophomore year, and then junior, senior year, you move into your electives. Okay, I'm going to start actually at the bottom of your requirements, just so we can work our way up. So you have 7 hours of required math classes. You are required to have a calculus class. So if you are bringing calculus credit from high school, then you're done with this part of your major. But if you don't have calculus yet, and by the way, both of these classes are only based on college algebra. So it's the prerequisite for both of these math classes that you will need. But later on, if you are going to be taking a calculus class, my always recommendation is to take this Math 1491 class, the Calculus for Life Science. It is a little nicer to my biology friends than the actual straight calculus is. So if you already have calculus credit, great, you're done. If you don't have calculus credit yet at UCA or bringing it in concurrently, this is the class that I would like for you to take. You are also required to have a statistics requirement. So biology accepts 2 versions of statistics around campus. So first of all, this math department, it's actually now called elementary statistics, but it's this class, Math 2311, the class number is the same. Or if you want to go into the psych department, that's Psych 2330, psychological statistics, either one of those will count as your statistics class for your biology requirements. Moving up, your physics requirement is also based on college algebra. So we have 2 different types of physics at UCA, college physics and university physics. There's also an applied physics, and you don't need that. But college physics is based on college algebra, not calculus. So my joke is that you can go be a doctor with this physics, or you can be a biology major, but you're not going to go be an engineer with this physics. So it's college algebra based, and most students take it towards the end of sophomore, early junior year. I have a lot of students who like to take this physics sequence during the summer even. So that's kind of up to you, and we'll talk about it in your meeting. Okay. You have 16 hours of required chemistry classes. So if you are one of those super smart people who chose to take Chem 1301 this fall, or if you're planning on taking it next spring, that is a class that works you into this Chemistry 1450. This is a super tough class, so you have to be really, really ready for it. The chemistry department is very tough on students. So I just want to give you, it's not impossible, but it's a tough class. So your requirements for chemistry are 4 semesters. These are 4 lab classes, Chem 1 and 2, and Organic 1 and 2. So you'll be able to see that. Later on, if you've decided that you would like to be a pre-med student and you want to try to go to med school, I will recommend on this electives situation that you take this biochemistry class as one of your electives. Even though it's a chemistry class, it'll count as a biology elective because it helps you on the MCAT. Okay, back up to the top where we're talking about biology classes. Some of you may start in an earlier biology class like biology 1400 or 01 or 02, and that's totally fine. This 1440 is the class that begins your major. So once you've entered into 1440, the progression, that ideally the first 3 semesters of once you've started are Bio 1, Bio 2, and Genetics. I would love for you, if you're ready to go into cell, I would love for you to go on and do that as well in the 4th semester, but you need to make sure that you've also passed Organic 1 before you go into cell biology. Some students don't have those a little bit out of sequence, so if you need to take a different required biology class, we have this ecology class. It has some weird prerequisites too. So through ecology, you need to get through Bio 2 and your statistics requirement in order to take ecology. But once you're done with genetics, genetics opens up some of these electives over here on the right side, and then cell typically opens the rest of them. And I've put up here at the top a little note for you about checking the course descriptions and prerequisites. And I've given you the link for the undergraduate bulletin. So over here on the left side in the electives, you're going to see a whole list of long electives in different categories. So this is not one of those classes, one of those checklists where you have to take one from each category. You don't have to do that. So if you decide that you want to have a major but not a minor, you're going to take 28 hours out of these electives. 4 of them have to be labs. So you can see that. And then if you don't have a minor, or excuse me, if you do choose a minor, it'll drop to 20 hours of electives, still 4 labs, plus whatever your minor requires. So I have a lot of students who are finished with lower division core and they end up choosing a minor to help balance out their science classes. Anyway, we can talk a little bit more about that later. I will tell you that the second number of every course code here tells you the number of hours that you receive for a class. So this neuroethology class, for example, is a 3-hour class, so a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Tuesday, Thursday. And then this microbiology class is a 4-hour class. That means it has a lab. So when I tell you that you have to have 4 labs out of there, that's what I mean. I'll tell you also that for my med school people, for my pre-PA, some of those people, anybody who wants to go be a doctor, ophthalmology or optometry people, basically these top 2 categories of electives probably speak the loudest to you. If you are more of an environmentalist, or if you're looking towards some veterinary school ideas or some environmental studies, things like that, these 2 electives, sets of electives down here, the diversity of organisms and ecology and evolutionary biology, those probably speak a little louder to you. And then down here at the bottom, here's some more electives, and I just, want to introduce this idea to you. This happens more when you're an upperclassman, but we have what's called undergraduate research. So where you pair up with a professor in their research labs, and you come in for class credit and work in their labs each week. So you can approach some professors, like kind of figure out what it is that they are working on and see if they need some help in their lab, and you can actually get college credit for that. There are times when they send students out into the field and do research, and you can get class credit for that as well. So there's all sorts of cool opportunities in the biology department to help you out. This is a super brief overview of this, and we'll talk more about this in our advising appointment, but I just wanted you to have some familiarity with it before we talk about it. So I hope that you have a great day, and I will catch you later. Thanks.